Hello, and welcome back to the Coop De Villa podcast. I'm Scott Cooper, and we are back to talk about Aston Villa versus Southampton. What a game, one of the best in years. We're going to be talking about Coutinho, Watkins, Ings, 4-0, all of it. And we're going to be talking about all that
after this.
Okay, so we were back at Villa Park, after the win last week, back at Brighton. It was a big week, and we got a bit of housekeeping I want to get to before we get to the actual match. First of all, there was some tragic news over the weekend, especially for us here in Australia, the loss of Shane Warne. And as we are an Australian channel, I thought we'd have to talk about it because it was such a monumental thing. For me personally, growing up in Australia as a cricket fan, as well as a sports fan, it was a huge loss. And I think that I know that Noah as well, it was a tough one to take, Noah.
Yeah, very tough. I'm still kind of waiting for someone to say it's a practical joke, like a prank, like it doesn't seem real. That someone like Shane Warne, who, I was listening to all summer on the commentary team, and I know the people in England listen to him at Sky Sports and to be there for their summer coming up. But yeah, it's just still don't quite believe it, how it's all happened. And I really send love and support to everyone close to him and the family, because it's just come out of nowhere.
Yeah, that's it. Definitely 52, way too young for anyone, especially such an icon like Warney. And there was Rod Marsh as well that also passed away the day before. So it was a really tragic 24 hours for Australians. But let's get on to the football. And we had the match against Southampton. There was a couple of changes. There was some COVID issues, and Konsa and Dinge were out, and Troy. The fans all and the Premier League got on behind the Ukraine stop the war effort. There was a big push with the yellow and blue, and Southampton had the yellow and blue away kits as well. So,
well, they did, and I thought that was a lovely gesture. I was a bit disappointed that Villa didn't follow that and wear yellow and blue as well. I think it would have been confusing for the fans and the players, but I just think for the people of Ukraine here, that would have been a fantastic gesture, and that's something we should have done. But as for the game itself, look, this is the second week in a row that I've seen the lineup. I've vented my spleen on Twitter along with just about everybody else.
Yeah,
on the official thread, everybody's saying, "Okay, that's a funny joke. Name the proper team." I said, "Sorry, I'm going to bed," and I did that last week as well. And when I woke up in the morning, all I can see is you guys commenting on the match, and I think it was Tommy that was saying it could have been so much more. I'm thinking, I had a feeling we might have got pumped, but I didn't think it was going to be that bad. So it was a pleasant surprise. I think, Gerrard had a lot of his selection forced on him, but I think he got his tactics right. To be honest, I think maybe he's got his tactics right in the past, but the players on the pitch haven't followed that direction properly. We saw them more than once over the last few weeks being rather animated on the sidelines. Gerrard and his coach is basically sitting there saying, "This isn't what we told them to do. This isn't what we sent them out there to do." They seem a lot more chilled yesterday. So whether in previous weeks they've got the tactics right, but the players just didn't cotton on and didn't do it properly. But this week everything clicked. Everything was right. I think everybody played well. The only person I was a little slightly disappointed with over the first half was Ramsey. I didn't really think he got involved, but then I had a closer look at that in the second half. He was doing a defensive job, and I think he was shackled a little bit. I think the idea was to go out there and stifle Southampton's midfield, put a lot of pressure on them very, very quickly, and he did that job very well. That cost us a little bit of creativity, but I'm sure as one of the other lads will chime in, Coutinho more than made up for that.
Well, that's it. I mean, we'll get into some of the more tactical stuff a bit later, but I think you brought up some really good points there in sort of how we've made just slight adjustments over the last couple of weeks, and it's come off to to great benefit for the team, Tommy. But it was a great start, and Watkins, only 10 minutes in, makes it 1-0 with a brilliant little turn and goal. What were your thoughts on the opening goal, Tommy?
Absolutely. I think Ings doesn't get enough credit, just personal opinion. I think Ings was man of the match. I think he actually got 2 assists and a goal, and I think he kind of set the tone for the game. I mean, Coutinho could have had a hat-trick, could have had all these things, but statistically, I think he was 1 goal, 1 assist, maybe 1 goal, 2. Don't hold me to it, but yeah, I think Ings' quick turn put Ollie through. And again, like we talk about, they haven't been syncing up. I feel like they've actually gelled pretty well the last 2, maybe 3 games. And, Ings finds Ollie, and then, Ings is actually celebrating with Ollie. So a lot of the things we were saying probably just went out the door now. They're celebrating, hugging each other, a lot of camaraderie between the teams. And, just great to see Ollie finish like he does. He's always been clinical. We've never questioned that, but I think it was just finding his form. And I think we all can attest to the fact that, once he started finding his rhythm, that, I think the floodgates will start to open. And, what was it? Ollie won, Ings won, so great to just see them both on the score sheet. And, I think we can have a pretty lethal partnership up front now. I think Ings behind Ollie is the best way to go.
Yeah, I think that is a huge point. The creative sort of-ness of Ings in this game was amazing. He always puts in that work rate as well. So with maybe with Buendia there, we don't work hard enough quite in that front three. But
Ings puts in a shift. He's like, and he hasn't got probably the legs in him, but I think it was, I don't know when it was, but I think it was the second half where he had his shot on target, and he was actually chased down the left back, and he's almost closed him down, that Perot, whatever his name is. So, like I said, he's really working for it, and his goal came in the end, so full credit to him. He worked hard to be able to get to a scoring position.
Yeah, right. Well, no, Ings had a good first half, but it was really the Coutinho show. And after the first goal for Watkins, he had a 15-minute, sort of 20-minute period just before halftime where it was some of the best football I have seen at Villa Park from a single performance, in my opinion. It was he could have had 3 goals and 2 assists in that time. Tell us about it. Tell us the Luiz goal. We'll start with. What a brilliant team goal.
Unbelievable team goal. Probably one of the most well-worked goals. Like, everyone really got involved in that kind of passage of play. We had Prime Pirlo in the middle of the park playing the ball over the top to Coutinho, which was always good to see out of retirement. Like, if anyone else makes that ball, like Diaz or Harry Maguire, their Lord and Saviour, it's all over the front pages.
Yeah.
But little old Callum Chambers from Arsenal reject, got for free, does it, and it's just no one really talks about it. But well worked team goal. Coutinho's well weighted run. I mean, it's just pure class of a run. Well onside. I don't know what they were complaining about. And squares it back to his mate Douglas Luiz and taps it in. I mean, I saw the play unfolding. Once you see Coutinho's run, you see. I think Watkins was at the back post as well. He was further at the back post as well. So it just all worked out. And that 15 minutes that play was incredible. Like, Watkins had a ball to Coutinho that was saved. Then he had one that threw past the far post.
I got a question for you. Luiz had a shot where Coutinho did that great little dummy. I mean, it just seemed like everything. All the players now are getting they're getting their cues from Coutinho as to when we switch up the play, when we get quicker, when we play that killer pass. When he plays the ball to Chambers for the Luiz goal, he just immediately points. I want it over the top. And everyone is on board now and knows now when Coutinho wants it, give it to him.
But I look at his goal, Scotty. His goal. He had 4 people around him. And he did one fake shot and they all dropped on their knees.
He sold them.
One fake shot. So I got a question for you, Scotty. Obviously, I know how much you love this man. Is Coutinho doing better? Like, thoughts on him and compared to Jack Grealish? Is he better than Jack Grealish? Well, I know, for me as well, it's a hard statement. I love Jack Grealish, but I'm in love.
Yeah, for a body of work, I mean, Grealish obviously was here longer, but it's only been 7 games for Coutinho. But as terms of a start in a Villa career, I can't think of anything better off the top of my head. And yeah, I mean, just the class in these last few matches. We saw a bit of it against Leeds, and then obviously the team had a few bad games, Newcastle, Watford, but he was still showing signs in those matches, even though we were absolutely wretched. And then this match, I think, I think if he keeps going like this, if he signs for us at the end of the season and he plays at this level for 1-2 seasons, then I will be quite happy to say he is the best player I've seen. But that's still a while off. But as in terms of an impact in the first 7 games, unbelievable.
I think we got to sign that contract now and get it over and done with.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I think the only reason that it wouldn't get signed is if he doesn't agree. So I think
he looks happy though, Tommy.
I think his recent Twitter post after Villa says a lot as well.
Yeah, but he looks happy. I think even Gerrard said in his post match, like, he looks happy, he's smiling, he's loving football. Steven Gerrard, he's our manager. He obviously loves Stevie G. He will be at Villa next season, in my opinion. He will be at Villa for a few more years for sure.
I'll hold you to it.
Hold me to it. But I think he will be. Like, he looks happy.
Yeah, I think so. And he's got the other South Americans there that we saw the photo of them all went out after the Brighton win. They had their girlfriends with them and their wives and
Emmy, Buendia.
Yeah.
No way.
They went to play some bowling. It was good fun.
Yeah,
I think the celebration with Dougie was nice as well. Just that kind of Brazilian touch. That was awesome.
But Troy, like, he could have had a hat trick. There was the shot where he absolutely lashed it just past the post. There was the one where Ollie flicked it onto him and he was 1-on-1 with the goalkeeper and he really should have scored that one. That was a little disappointing. But this was obviously before the Louise goal, and I was thinking, how are we only 1-0 up? Because, being a Villa fan, it's just like we are absolutely dominating this game. It should be done, but we all know that, things can change pretty quickly, especially for villains.
Oh, they can. And, the first couple of minutes, I think McGinn had the ball twice and lost it twice. And, here we go. It's going to be one of those days in the end. He was unbelievable. I think 15 minutes in, Mings was way out to the left where he spent an awful lot of time helping out Ashley Young, who did have a good game. But Mings was out there. There was a massive gap between Mings and Chambers. You could have driven a whole fleet of buses, which is very unusual to see. And I think it was around the 15-minute mark, Mings drifted out there. The ball was at his feet. He lost it, and Southampton should have scored. And I thought, there's a few signs there that aren't good, but they were obviously playing to instructions. Mings isn't drifting out there unless he's told to go out there. That's not a natural thing for a centre-back to do, especially when you've got someone of the class of Ashley Young. So I think the idea was to try and get the ball out to the left-hand side, tempt Southampton over to that sort of park and then drive through the middle, which we did. The tactics were good. As far as Coutinho goes, he seems so relaxed. You boys probably too young, but Gordon Cowan's springs to mind. And if we can keep him for a season or two, and look, if you want to compare him with Jack had a lot of dross around him, and he was the star of the team. I think Coutinho's got a lot better class of player around him, which is going to help. But I don't know if Coutinho's made of glass the way that Grealish was. Grealish tended to sort of spend 2 or 3 months of the season out. So if we can get a similar kind of time, a similar kind of number of games out of Coutinho that we did out of Grealish, and if he can do this for a season and a half, 2 seasons, then I think we're going to have comparisons between him and legends like Gordon Cowan. So I love the guy.
Yeah, I think it's harder. Sorry, Scott, I was going to say, I just think it's harder. It's harder for Coutinho to shine in a team of better players, but he is. You put Jack at City and he's not shining as much. But again, City and Villa, 2 different kind of kettle.
Yeah.
But I think Coutinho's really shining in a team full of great players, and I think that says a lot about him as well. That kind of permeates across the team, and that brings out the best in others. And I don't think that it's a coincidence that Ramsey's starting to kill it. As Coutinho's arrived as well, and the games complement each other as well, and it also allows players like Dougie. And sometimes I feel bad for McGinn because he's a natural attacking player. I think he just accepts his role now, and him and Dougie can kind of just do the dirty work in the background, which does get noticed. But
everyone on Twitter saying never fall in love with a lone player, which we've had some few who fell in love with, but the option to buy is huge here. The option to buy makes a big difference.
So there's no chance a club like, I don't know, let's say Bayern Munich or something.
They can't hijack it unless Coutinho's like, no, I want to go to Munich. So then it's purely personal terms, not financial.
Yeah.
But I think Barca could jack the price. Could they jack the price?
No, they can't. They can't anymore.
Then it was set at 40 mil.
It's set.
It's pretty much like we've had a bid accepted already. We just have to do the personal terms at the end of the season if we want to.
I feel like they'd be stupid not to with their financial situation as well. Bite their arm off.
No, I got to take it.
That's it. Yeah. And they've replaced him. They've bought quite.
Well, they didn't really play him anyway. They really have to replace him. They didn't really use.
But, you've got to feel for him. He's had a pretty tough run.
But the people saying don't fall in love with a lone player. I'm sorry, but I'm in love. I feel like Tammy Abraham all over again. So.
If we compare him with Grealish, I mean, City overpaid for Grealish. I don't think there's any doubt about that now.
Yeah, that's true, Troy.
If we peg him at, let's say, 80 million as opposed to a £100 million player, and we're going to get Coutinho for half of that, it's just an absolute bargain. I going back to last week's show, I thought he was a good sort of 4 or 5 years older than he was. So we could literally, if he stays, if we can convince him to stay, and I think if we keep playing like this, we can finish easily top half. I think he'll be convinced to stay. We can build a side around him. Yeah. I think the owners will be convinced to push the boat out a little bit, basically saying, well, you know what? Look, you've essentially saved £40 million on a player like this. Put that into the club. Let's see what we can get. Yeah. And I think the next few years, if we build, you can't solely build around a player who won't be here forever, but we could realistically build a side based on the talent that we've got with Coutinho and to a degree Buendia. And we could be something very special in the next couple of years.
I agree.
Well, that's it. We could definitely push the boat out a little bit in these next 3 or 4 years while we've got him. And, really push for those European places. But, let's get back to the game. Noah, so halftime 2-0. Southampton did push maybe before we had that great period towards the end of the half. Had a couple of chances, but they really looked a bit lackluster. And maybe the FA Cup game in midweek for them, was a factor. I think the tactics as well that Troy spoke about earlier, where we really plugged up that middle of the midfield. And, so Luiz had one of his best games in ages because I think he had Ramsey and McGinn close to him. So he felt like he could close the ball down a bit more freely, and he wasn't worried about what was going on behind him. So he could put the pressure on, try and get a toe in. And he did that maybe 7 or 8 times in brilliant situations, just getting a toe in. I thought he was magnificent. And, when he plays like that, he can be our DM, but, obviously how it was working before where McGinn and Ramsey were playing almost like fullbacks, that wasn't working. Gerrard's shown that, he's a smart enough manager to see that, to change it, even if this was his philosophy, of how he likes to play, he's noticed, okay, at Villa with these players, it's not working. Let's change it. And, so going into the second half, we were all just thrilled of what we just seen. And it just kept going, Noah, in the second half with Coutinho finally getting his goal.
The goal he deserved, I spoke about it before. I mean, the pure class on him to drop 4 players with a fake shot and then to stick it through the keeper's legs. I mean, no one was expecting. I didn't think he was going to score from there at all. I didn't think he had a chance in hell. And the way it went in, amazing. And then 2 minutes later, Danny Ings finally gets a goal that he does deserve.
Yeah.
I was hoping to give it to the Southampton fans because they've been ripping into him on social media for quite some time. But his class didn't celebrate as much as Watkins tried to make him celebrate by going over there to him. But, pure class. And I think it was 2 minutes of just Villa just playing amazing, amazing footy. And we deserved probably more goals in that period. But, and then had to defend. Because Southampton pushed in the second half as well. Obviously, we're going to come back from 4-0. But I think what was a bigger thing is, is last time we played him at Villa Park, we gave him a lot of dead ball situations.
Yeah.
A lot of set pieces, even though they had a few corners this time. They had 2 free kicks that James Ward-Prowse scored, a goal he assisted from a set piece. We didn't give him any dead balls besides the corners, which we are pretty good at defending.
Yeah.
So I think we played to our strengths better and didn't play to theirs as much because, I'm one of the best free kick takers in the world in James Ward-Prowse. You give him a dead ball situation, you're going to probably score it 9 times out of 10.
And Romeo as well, I think last time we played them absolutely destroyed us when we played them at their ground.
Yeah.
And Coutinho, Watkins, Ings, they were all getting around him and giving him a hard time. And I think McGinn put a few early challenges on him as well, like a few rough sort of challenges that kind of set the tone for the match. I think Steven Gerrard tactically got it spot on.
Yeah, but I also think the referee deserves a bit of credit. I think he let the game flow quite well. I think there was 2 yellow cards maybe in the game that were probably there. If we had the same ref from the Brighton game, there would have been a few red cards in that game. A few 50-50 fouls that probably would have given a card. I think the ref actually did quite well. The game flowed, I think, quite fairly and quite freely.
Do you think some of that's attributed to the recent statement the EPL said regarding the revamp of refereeing? We see a lot of these a lot of these old dogs, and they're just very monolithic. They're not willing to adapt or change to the modern game. And now we're starting to hear things like games are flowing, and if there's a red, there's a red. But review it. Don't take 10 minutes to do so. VAR, all this stuff. So I felt like the game flowed pretty well.
Yeah,
I think that was Southampton maybe a little bit off the pace, sort of.
Yeah, they weren't there. They weren't 100% at the pace. But
could it be? But what? Yeah, I suppose who they have was a West Ham. They beat, I think, in the cup.
Yeah.
That's not going to be an easy challenge. So they're probably knackered from that.
No.
But look, as you'd expect, you're playing a team that's put in a full shift against West Ham. They fielded, I think, a full squad, if I'm pretty certain, and we took it to them. I just want to quickly touch on. I think Chambers' defense was pretty immense. I think. And I saw a guy on, again, it's YouTube and it's a forum, but he puts him ahead of Konsa, and I'll break down why. Konsa, one thing I've noticed is when a player, he pushes up to, put in a tackle, he'll usually commit a foul, get a stupid yellow, and as we've seen, he's not afraid to go get that second yellow when he should be. Chambers is very good at intercepting the ball. Very good, and he gets a foot to it, gets a leg to it. So again, these are basic things. And as a centre back, if you do the basics right, that's good enough. And there's no mental lapses, and he's got that. He can ping. I thought these long balls are pretty awesome, for a centre back. And I mean, he's probably a natural right back, so he's always been good at crossing, etc. So I think he was really immense defensively.
I know
his assist. Again, if that was any other player, it'd be front headlines. You see that Arsenal goal, they always bring about when what was his name? Jack Wilshere, the dead shit. He scored.
Yeah.
They keep replaying that. Why doesn't this goal, kind of make it to that? This is probably one of the best goals of all time, just in terms of build up. 3 passes goal or 2 and a goal.
I think also going back to the Ings goal quickly, Matty Cash in that goal was fantastic, and we've criticised him all season about his final ball not being good enough and asking questions. Is he a long-term answer for Gerrard? And I think he's trying to pick people out now and cut the ball back, apart from, just floating it to the back post or driving it across as he was.
Having a left-footed shot as a right back, I said, dude, give it to a striker. These guys are natural, both feet. I trust Ings to put a ball in the back. And then his degree of difficulty wasn't very easy. But again, Ings, that's what
Last finish.
Oh, it's a great finish. But
just find him.
But I think the tweak in the tactics actually helps Cash, because before he was the first man up on that right hand side, right? So he was the option, the obvious option. Now, because we've tweaked it slightly, he's coming late, so he gets to that attack quite late,
and the man out.
That's it. And he's got a bit more time. He receives the ball a bit further up, so he gets it sort of in line with the 18-yard box, takes his man on, and he's in a better position to cross. And, it's far more dangerous. And I think that, got to give Gerrard and Beale and all the coaching staff credit again for that, I think.
There's with Cash, I also think he's been told to slow down a little bit with his crosses. There are a couple of times when the fullback got to him and shut him down that previously he would have ripped past him. And I think the coaches have sort of said, look, out of 10 crosses, if you go flat out and you're going so quick and you hurry your cross, 9 out of those aren't going to hit their targets. But if you slow that right down, okay, the fullback's going to nab you probably half the time, but of those other half, you're going to hit your target more often than not. So, I did notice that a couple of times he got caught a lot easier than I thought, but that cut back to Ings was and he just seems in that last couple of steps just to slow down and just put a little bit of thought in it. Just going back to Chambers for a second, comparing with Konsa, one important fact I think we missed there was that our outlet from the centre backs is Mings, and 8 times out of 10 it's a hoofball, and I think other teams know that if they cut the fullbacks down, let Mings have it. We're not all that creative. 50 it's going to come down to with Chambers. It gives us another outlet, a very creative one as well, and it gives the other teams a whole lot of headaches. They've got to cover that midfield a lot more. So I think on that front, I think pure defensive wise, I think Konsa is just shades it, but I think with what Chambers gives us, it makes it a tough call.
Could there be a Chambers and Konsa partnership? I'm not saying drop Mings, but like,
well, at least there'd be no defensive lapses. That's for sure.
I would like to see Konsa and Mings with Chambers just sitting as a DM. I'd like to see him as a DM if Louise ever gets injured.
I was going to say, so who gets dropped, Troy? And that was leading to a question I said, if we sign Basuma, who gets dropped? And is it Dougie that's the scapegoat, unfortunately?
Yeah, I wouldn't sign Basuma just going off what happened last week. He was just a nightmare. Honestly, if Louise got injured, I would be very tempted to try Chambers as a DM.
Still got Nakamba to come back.
Yeah, he's come back in 3 weeks, 4 weeks.
Next season, I thought for Nakamba.
I think that's gonna harbour him.
Yeah,
really.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, I don't think it's in the next couple of weeks. Maybe he might get a game or two, but
okay.
But yeah, let's just round off the game here. So after the fourth goal, it's sort of the game fizzled out a little bit. I think we just sort of managed the game. We didn't really push on too much after that. There was that one great save from Emmy.
From Emmy.
From Shea Adams.
I saw that, and it's like the
Great
defense
save.
did. I don't know. I give first of all, it's the defense's fault because I felt like they weren't even tracking back. It's like Emmy's got this. They just slowed down. I said it's stupid, and
that was
Adams
sloppy.
just kept going. Yeah. So look, great save from Emmy.
How did you get that over the bar?
It was. I mean, talk about a strong hand.
Did he parry it and it's gone up, or it's parried?
I think it sort of went off his hand onto the ground and
that's
over.
what I thought. That would make sense from a physics.
But still,
I would have hated that blue nose to score though.
Yeah.
I think they said on stat of the day. Stat of the day I saw on social media that
is this the Coop De Villa stat of the day? No,
it should be. It should be the Coop De Villa stat of the day.
But the Southampton win.
He's played Villa 12 times, hasn't scored. Shea Adams.
Okay.
But also that was the first time we've beaten Southampton at Villa Park since 2004. So a long time coming for that as well. So yes, you got the double stat. You guys are lucky today. 2 stats in one.
You just killed one of the quiz cases.
I think so. I just saw Scott's eyes.
Yeah, I'm not gonna have to. No, we're good. We're good. The quiz this week is actually very eclectic. I found some interesting questions. I found a Reddit post which had interesting Villa facts, and so there was some good ones on there. So look forward to that.
Now Scott's a casual Reddit user.
I am a casual,
Let me just say, going back to the game, I wandered onto a Southampton forum just prior to kickoff and had a read of a few pages, and they sort of said, okay, they're missing their starting centre back, but they said we've got more than enough for Villa. They only thought that I can't remember one of our players, maybe Ramsey, could get into their team. The rest of them, not a chance. We're sitting on the bench. Most of them said he's a busted flush. He's got nothing, and I just thought, that's a pricks. But they were confident. They said, look, at best that we could hope for was, if we could nick a 1-1. That was a bit. Most of them thought they'd spank us sort of 3-1 or 4-1. By the end of the first half, they were all ready to kill themselves and started blaming it on their centre-back pairing that was garbage. And I thought, well, you know what? At the end of the day, if you've only got one decent centre-back, then you've got no right being in the spot that you are. And I haven't watched a lot of them, whether they've got the calls from the referees, whether they've had a lot of free kick situations that Ward-Prowse has done well in. But judging on that showing, I cannot believe that's the side that's even thinking about pushing for Europe. They were utterly shit.
This is a side that's lost 9-0 twice, and it could have been 9-0 again. Really, if we had pushed for the whole 90, and if we had taken our chances in the first half, it could have been. It could have been. So they're one of these teams that have a very low budget, and they do the best they can with what they've
They've
got.
got a great youth system as well.
Yeah,
They've got some superstars.
Yeah.
I really rate Hasselhüttl. I think he's a good coach. I think he will go to a big club one day.
I think he's retiring, isn't he? They said he's going to retire soon.
Really?
That's it. I think he's done.
Wow.
Ralph? No,
Yeah,
I do not believe that at all.
Maybe I've not heard that, but if
yeah.
but he, he's part of that kind of German crew of like Tuchel and Klopp and all these guys that have Ragnarok that have done quite well. And I think I was expecting a tough game, but occasionally they seem to have these games where they kind of get stuffed because they don't really have the highest quality, even if they do have a great spirit and good tactics.
I think it was a tough game. I think it was tougher than we actually made it look. If you have a look on 40 minutes, McGinn looked absolutely wrecked. He looked rooted. That midfield was putting in a hell of a shift. Okay, yeah, we got the goals and we did utterly spank them, but I think we had to work awfully hard in the midfield to do that. And I think Gerrard said, I expect by the end of the game that you guys have absolutely nothing left in the tank, and they didn't. That's
it. And at 1-0, they had a good 10, 15-minute period where, I was worried that, Shea Adams had a header and there was another shot from, I think it was Armstrong that went quite close. And, yeah, I mean, we needed that second goal. We got it. And then after that, there was only one winner. So let's look forward.
Just to confirm, Athletic, there you go.
What's that?
Considered retirement after contract expires. Now, I also saw another
in 2024.
Yeah, 2024. Not when his Southampton contract expires. And then I also saw one day ago, Man United consider Ralph Hasenhüttl as the next manager. And he's a great manager. He's a great guy.
Well, that'd be interesting to see what happens there. But
let's do this quiz.
Yeah, we'll get to the quiz. We'll do predictions first for because we got Leeds on Thursday night. I think it is our time.
They got a new manager.
Friday morning.
Temporary manager.
Yeah, they got a Ted Lasso American guy apparently that he was doing some weird things and they weren't too sure about it.
Jesse Marsh. He's interesting. He's I think he'll actually be all right for them.
In his press conference, he goes, "Oh, we don't like to call it soccer anymore over there. Call it football." Like, why say it in the first place?
He was taking the piss a bit because they were trying to get him on the Ted Lasso thing, and he was kind of playing along with it. I actually think he's not a bad manager, and I think
has he managed before?
Yeah, Leipzig, and
did he manage Leipzig? He's in the back.
No, he was the manager. He got sacked this season.
It can't be that good.
But he did really well with Salzburg in the Champions League.
Salzburg, yeah.
With when Haaland came onto the scene, he was the coach of them.
It's not fucking hard in what is it, Hungary, when you got Haaland starting in your team.
Yes. No, but they did quite well against Liverpool and a few other sides. But yeah, I think that'll be a tough game.
Because their last few games have been spanked, and I think they only lost 1-0 as opposed to 4-0 or 3-0 or something. So the guy must have something about it.
I did call Bielsa, and you all laughed at me. 2 weeks later or a month later.
You did.
I said it was going to be Bielsa. I said he'd always want bigger and better things. He's not stupid.
All right, he's going to come back to this video when Hasselhoff, whatever his name is, retires in 2024.
I know he's going to call it. He called it.
United will cancel the contract. They'll get him in. Or Ten Hag, it'll be.
Oh, there we go.
Interesting to see what happens there. But I will go for a 3-1 Villa win at Ellen Road. I'm going to say Coutinho will get 2 and Danny Ings will keep his run going. What about you, Tommy?
5-0.
5-0.
They're absolute shit, and their new manager syndrome hasn't officially kicked in yet. So
okay.
I'm calling 5-0. They're defensively crap, and I think they've got some injuries, if I'm correct. So
they're back for our game, though.
Is Bamford back? Yeah, cool. 2-2. It's looking pretty good. I'm still going to stick with 5-0. I think it'll be a blowout. I think we've hit our straps right now, and the Ings-Ollie combo is pretty deadly.
Yeah, why not?
And I don't think they can stop Coutinho. Is Phillips back as well?
Yes.
Oh, fuck.
Apparently, yeah.
I'm sticking with 5-0. I think it'll be 3-0 at halftime.
Troy?
You often hear Villa fans saying that, one day we're going to give someone a spanking. You never hear them say one day we're going to give them a spanking 2 weeks in a row. No. I think we'll win. I think I think 2-0.
No.
Yeah, I was going to say 2-1 or 2-0. I'm going to go 2-1. I'm going to go Watkins and Ings both getting goals.
You guys are all soft, honestly.
Troy, who's gonna get your goals? You didn't say.
Oh, I think Watkins. I said when he got his goal last week, I said, maybe strikers all over the world are different. If they don't score, they get their pissy pants on, and they're not in a good mood, and they don't play very well. But that one goal can make all the difference in the world. I remember years ago there was. I think he was a Liverpool striker, hadn't scored for the longest. Was it Diego Forlan hadn't scored for the longest time, and then he hit us for 3, and that was it. He just went on this incredible run. I think Watkins maybe he's going to hit the same form now. So I think he'll get one, and I think Ramsey will pop up and grab a much needed goal as well.
Well, I think that Ollie's goal just shows what the difference is when you're confident. You would not have tried that turn a few weeks ago, I don't think, and that was his first chance, first real moment in the game, and he absolutely turned Stevens inside out, and pretty good finish as well. So yeah, that's all good. It's a shame he didn't score that other one where Coutinho set him up. If he had just lifted it even a fraction, that was a goal. But it was a great ball from Coutinho, who was at that point just the best player on the pitch by miles. All right, so we're gonna do the quiz again, guys. It's round 8. We've got Tommy on 1 point. We got Troy on 3. We got Noah on 3. So yeah, it's close at the top. Tommy's a little behind, but he's got a chance to catch up here.
Has Tommy actually got any points in the last 2 weeks?
I don't think so.
No, I got a couple of points.
He got some cheating points last week.
Don't forget, you're
genuine cheating points.
All I know is you're closer to dying than me, you old fuck.
Well, that's actually.
I've got about 20 years to carry this.
Well, that's actually the first question. When will Troy die?
What's he now? 75. So what's he got? About another 10, if that.
Whoever gets the closest.
I could Shane Warne in 18 months. Yeah, all too soon.
No. Well,
they have the Viagra in Thailand.
All right. Well, so we got the quiz, Coop De Villa Quiz, coming up after this.
Yes.
That's All right, fellas. So here we are, the Coop De Villa Quiz, round 8. And we're going to start with Tommy again because he's lagging behind.
We're starting the dad dance already.
And this is, as we know, the question to see which order we'll go in. And we're going to go Tommy, Noah, Troy, because Troy won last week. And the question is, how many appearances did brothers Gary Gardner and Craig Gardner make for Aston Villa combined?
110.
What the fuck?
110 for Tommy. So
64.
Craig Gardner and Gary Gardner, the two brothers that played for Villa in the 2000s. How many games did they play for Villa combined?
They didn't start.
Noah?
72.
72. Troy?
Craig Gardner was always called the next Steven Gerrard, and who knew we'd actually get Steven Gerrard? I will go 71. Sorry, Noah.
Okay, so the answer is 101. Hey. So it's Tommy, Noah, Troy.
Yes. I'm after Tommy. I'm after Tommy.
Is there going to be some stealing going on?
The last podcast, we just took a lot of guesses. It was great. So.
That's it. I think that might happen again.
Maybe we should abolish the options.
No, the options are there for
for the weak ones that want to have a guess.
That's it.
The ones that don't want to have a guess.
You've got to be tactical with your selections.
That? 5 options. That's 5 points guaranteed if it's ever a close call. All right, let's go.
All right, Tommy. 1 to 15. Give me a number.
My number's Coutinho, 24. Okay, that's out of the equation.
23.
He's 23.
All right. I'm gonna stick with Gabby Agbonlahor. I'm gonna go number one actually.
Oh, number one.
That's not good.
Well, it's 1-1. So I know he's 11.
So you want to go number one?
No, we'll go with 11. I'm sticking with.
You're going 11.
Agbonlahor with the W.
Agbonlahor. All right.
It's 10 a.m. and he's already on the pipe.
It's 11 a.m. here.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
It's
Yeah,
8.
might need
Yeah.
the captain.
Okay. What is Aston Villa's biggest ever win in all competitions? Now, this one's a tough one, so I'm going to
season. Is it
no.
this
This is in all time, right? Our biggest ever win in all competitions. Now, if you get the score right, the exact score, I'm going to give you 3 points. If you get the margin right, I'm going to give you 1 point.
Ooh.
So,
Jesus.
So that says the other team did score.
it doesn't.
No, because
Necessarily.
8-0. So
He said the margin, which means by how many goals.
yeah.
Yeah. I'll give
So
you 1
8-0
point if you get the
and 8 goals
margin
for this one.
right. If you get the exact score right, I'll give you the 3.
Quick question, Scott. In the options, is it score and margin or is it a point each?
Once you go to the options,
It's a
you have to
point,
get the
yeah.
exact one and for 1 point. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to need options. I can't even.
Okay.
I can't even
This is
punt
a
this.
tough question. Holy
It is.
moly.
The
If I
options
was number
are
11. I was number 11. That's why Noah.
yeah, I always
Yeah.
make it hard because he always goes that one, you see. Okay, the options are 12-0, 13-1, 13-0, or 14-1.
Are the teams that we played there by any chance, Scott?
You want the no, I can't.
No.
I can give you that after the question, but
Well, what was it? 12-0, 13-1, 14-0.
12-0, 13-1, 13-0, 14-1.
This is going back to 1905 or something,
Yeah,
isn't it?
100%.
There's two where we've scored 13, so this could be one of Scott's things.
Could be. There's 2 that they've scored 1, and there's 2 that they've scored
Yeah,
nil
but
as
to
well.
put 13 twice, that's a very specific number, Scott. It's a
Okay.
number that's not on a lot of elevators, you demonic prick. I'm gonna go. Is it 13-1?
That's what I would have gone for.
13-0.
I knew it was one of them.
Oh, unlucky.
Don't tell me my theories are right. Just my execution.
Yeah.
shit.
Oh, I thought you were going to get it. It was against Wednesbury Old Athletic in the FA Cup first round on the
Sounds like a
14th of
retirement village
September
friendly.
1886. We won
It
13-0.
was
Troy was
earlier than
there.
I thought.
Troy was there.
Troy was the goalkeeper.
And
retired from football by that stage.
question 2. Unfortunately, you didn't get that right, Tommy. But it was a good guess. And now it's on Noah. What number would you like, Noah?
I'm going to go the Polish Cafu number 2.
Number 2.
Uh-huh.
Leaving number 1 for Troy as it's his favourite. So
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay.
Noah.
Here we go.
You're a
There
considerate
is-
lover.
There is a famous banner at Villa Park that commemorates the Villa's European Cup win in 1982.
yeah,
It has the transcript of the commentary
I don't know it.
by Brian Moore of that goal.
I don't know.
Shaw, Williams, prepared to venture down the left. There's a good ball played in for Morley. Oh, it must be. And it is. Peter With. Right? That's
Yes,
what it says.
yes,
You know
yeah.
the banner. Okay.
Yeah.
The question is, which stand is that banner hung from
That's the whole end.
for 3 points?
Yeah, 3 points.
And Troy, you have an opportunity to steal. That is
That's the North.
incorrect.
Is it? Is
It's
it the
the
North
North
stand?
stand.
Is it?
For 3
Yep.
points, it's the North Stand.
Wow. I always thought it was the
Actually
whole.
stole it.
Wow.
And yes,
I
well
see,
done,
I
Troy.
see.
He's on the
I'm gonna
board
get-
again.
I'm gonna get
What's this?
hate for this.
Oh, there's one of the Holtens like the 12th man one, isn't
The
it?
12th man, yeah. I'm going to get
Yeah.
hate for this, but
Oh,
I
fuck.
reckon the Peter With thing is just tacky. I don't like it.
Look,
Take the points
I
off
don't
him.
mind it.
Take the points off him.
I think it's such a unique moment for a team like Villa to
It
win a
is.
European Cup that why not? You know, we got to live on these great days that we have very rarely, and that was definitely the biggest one. So yeah, no, that's huge. So 3 points to Troy, and it's now your question.
Yeah,
What would you
baby.
like?
Number 1, please. Seeing as I know I was going to go for 14, but he was kind enough to leave me with 1. So let's start from the very beginning. A very good place to start. As
Okay.
we're talking about
It's
Salzburg.
going to be a
earlier.
really easy question too, because I should have taken it.
You know it's not, because I always go for number one. He set me up. Come on, give it to me, Scotty.
Okay, this one is a bit of a fun one. Hang on.
How heavy was the fat prostitute with Jack?
Okay.
Rose?
So what song / bit of music is played at Villa Park before kickoff when the players are coming out of the tunnel? Not Hi Ho Silver Lining. It's the next song. And I've actually got it here and I'm going to play it.
It's Black
Great
Sabbath,
song.
isn't it? But I don't know the song. I
No,
don't
it's,
know.
no. It's not.
This might get copyrighted too.
Oh,
Hang on.
let me just make it. No.
This is professionalism.
Puts it out there.
An old and hard of hearing, but I'm not hearing that.
Puts it out there.
I was like dancing along here.
It's coming. It's this bit, right? This is terrible. This isn't working at all.
I'm not going to. Oh, the tunnel music.
Yeah.
What a tune.
This.
All right, you can stop it now.
Is that really loud?
Yes.
Okay, sorry. But you know that's the tune, right? We all know
Famous
it.
song. Yeah.
What's the name of the song or the name of the artist? If you give me either, I will give it to you because it is tough.
I got $2 Kmart headphones and they've just blown up.
Okay.
I'm gonna have to have the options there. I really don't know.
Okay.
That's fair. I got no idea.
The options are Sandstorm, Escape, Offshore, or Children as the name of the track.
Oh dear.
I have no idea. What was the first?
Sandstorm?
Go for that one. It's the first question. I'll go for the first option.
Unfortunately, that's incorrect. It's Escape
Oh,
by Craig
oh.
Armstrong. is
Troy,
the name
how
of
did
it.
you not get that, Troy? It's
Oh.
so obvious.
I was trying to unplug my headphones and Shazam the shit. I couldn't get the audio going.
That was so loud.
Sorry about that.
Can you hear
But
it?
this is the live podcast at work.
I could hear it when I took my headphones off.
Wow. Okay. Sorry about that, everyone. If I just blew everyone's ears, but there we go. So that's round one done. Tommy's on 0 points. Noah's on 0 points. Troy's on 3 points. And Tommy, it's your question. 1, 2, and 11 have gone.
Or
Number 4. Okay. In 1982, Aston Villa travelled to the Ukraine, then the USSR, to play which club in the quarterfinals of the European Cup? Topical question with the war in Ukraine at the moment.
would have been after
What did they call it? The Ukraine?
the Ukraine. It's not just Ukraine.
Yeah, they call
The
it.
Sudan.
We are the Australia.
We
Yeah.
went to Ukraine and then to Russia. You're saying the USSR.
Well,
to play-
it was the USSR back then, but it's Ukraine today.
And we played it. Okay, right. We played a team.
Yeah, we played it.
I wonder if it's a Ukrainian team, but they
Well,
played none of
It is a Ukrainian team because
wow.
it's in Ukraine. But
no,
back then, they were called the USSR. They were part of the Soviet Union. All right.
and there's only like one good team in Ukraine that everyone knows.
Welcome to the Coop De Villa History Channel.
It's not Chernobyl FC. That one they evaporated. I'm gonna go.
Welcome back to the podcast, Tommy. That's what we missed out on last week when the mom was here. The
All of a sudden, I'm
disintegration
gonna
jokes.
have a sniper just on my head later. I'm gonna go with Dynamo Kiev.
The 3 points. Congratulations. Well done. You got the 3 points. And you know what,
Fuck,
Tommy?
It's a bonus.
There's a bonus question.
There is a bonus question, and you can take the lead in the quiz
Who
for the
scored
first
the goal?
time. For the first time in ages. No,
Damn it.
this is the question. The game was moved 300 miles south to the Crimean city of Simferopol.
Methopol is how it's pronounced.
The Black Sea.
Why was the game moved?
Yeah.
Can I ask what month we played the game?
Oh, shut up.
No.
Was it due to weather conditions, Scott?
I'll give you that. Yes, it was frozen pitch.
I was going to say snow or something. I'm like, I know it would have been rain, so it's not snow.
Weather conditions is
Oh
good
my
enough.
God.
Well
Is
done.
this what it feels like to win? And you know,
You're 3 questions in.
That's a 4-point. That's a 4-point question. You've taken the lead, and we go to Noah, who needs some points.
I'll go with Emi Buendia from Argentina, number 10.
he's number 15.
You're being pants so far, Noah.
This is the note I miss. I might put him off.
Okay, this is an interesting one.
Me bottling it against Troy put me off. Continue.
Okay, number 10.
It was a big bottle.
Number 10, Noah. Aston Villa youth players Lamar Bogard and Sil Swinkles have both represented which country at junior level?
Names again?
Lamar Bogard and Sil Swinkles.
Netherlands.
That's something you'd search for on Pornhub, isn't it?
Netherlands.
It's correct for 3 points, Noah. Well done.
Yeah,
They
I
are
remember
both.
Steel Swinkles was signed from 20 or somewhere in Holland.
Yeah, on FIFA, he's on the Villa career mode and he's Dutch. So that's how
I just remember we've signed them as youth players from Holland clubs. So I mean that should say a lot as well. Yeah.
And there's a bonus question, Noah.
Oh, get fucked.
made this.
How many days apart were these two 18-year-olds born?
Oh, well, there you go. Say goodbye to your extra points.
15.
It's one.
I was going
They were one day apart.
I was going to say it's a trick question. It's not one where
Yeah.
there'd be like a big number.
Yeah.
I don't know. I was hoping I'd go like the 84 one when with the Everton question, just get it right, you know. But
Oh, that was unreal. I can't believe I got the 100 like I was one off.
So you got the 3 points there. You're back in it, Noah. Well done. And
thank you. Good to be here.
Troy, it's up to you.
You actually Googled which lone players were born one day apart to come up with that question, didn't you, Scott?
No, I saw a weird stat that they were one day apart and that they were both Dutch. And I was like, okay, well, there you go.
Okay.
What question would you like, Troy?
14.
14.
That's his birthday.
We're going big.
That is my birthday.
Okay.
I don't know what month, but it's still your birthday.
1961.
Just send me a 71. Thank you. Just send me a card every month and you'll go on.
All right, Troy. Number 14. Which Aston Villa women's player on the 20th of February 2022 made her international debut for England in a 0-0 draw versus Spain?
I only know Dougie Louise's bird who's not English. So give me the options, please, mate.
Okay, the options are Jill Scott, Jodie Hutton, Sarah Mayling, or Hannah Hampton.
I'll go Hannah Hampton because it just sounds very horny.
How have you done that? How have you done that?
Hannah Hampton is correct for 1 point.
It's the way he says it.
No, it's not.
Sometimes when you say it's the first one,
it's Scott, Sarah Mayling, and Hannah Hampton.
No way. Come on.
How have you got that, bro?
Scott,
well done.
Scott.
1 point.
Noah hasn't figured out the sequence. Or is it option 1, option 2, option 3, or Hannah Hampton?
Well, Hannah Hampton did make her debut.
She's
in
a
a
keeper.
and I think she was man of the or woman of the match in that game with a clean sheet because she's a goalkeeper.
Yeah.
So congratulations
and
to
she
her.
got told at a young age she couldn't actually play sport. I think she has something wrong with her vision or something, and she couldn't actually play football.
That's
so
right.
The fact she's doing it at international level is amazing, and fair play to her.
And Troy, there is a bonus question. There is a bonus question, number 14. So this is the last bonus question that we've had them all now, and the bonus question is: which ground do the Aston Villa women's team play their home games?
Good. Screw you. I know this too. I've been to this ground.
Oh, is it Warsaw's home ground?
It is. Congratulations. 1 point, Troy.
No, why'd you run your mouth? Because that's what I'm like, I know where Noah's been.
The best
Stadium. It's the Bank Stadium, isn't it? Still?
You said Walsall. I remember you said Walsall before.
I didn't say Warsaw.
You've said it before where you've been when you've gone to England.
I would have guessed the best cut anyway.
So after 2 rounds,
5-4-4.
Tommy's on 4, Noah's on 3, Troy's on 5. Very close. We're all doing very well. So
I'm in the mix
Noah's
here.
going on a nudie run.
These are the ones that I win.
Yeah,
Is
Tommy.
it though? I mean,
And
this is the most points you've had combined in like the last 4 weeks.
I'm going to go number 6.
Number 6 for Tommy.
I shouldn't get cocky. Look what happened to Noah last week. Oh, just shut up.
That's
Oh,
it.
yeah, you're
The thing is, the questions I got were like, what did Vassell do when he played for Villa? Like, what was the thing he did? Like, I don't know.
Oh, that was amazing, though, wasn't it? That every time he scored, he was never on the losing side. That was incredible stat.
It
was.
It
But
was.
how did no one knew that?
Yeah.
All right, Tommy, hurry up.
No, Darius Vassell
I
probably
said
knew
6,
it.
mate.
Okay, yeah, okay. Here we go. Number 6. Coming into last night's game versus Southampton, was Saturday night's game. Southampton were on a great run with how many points from their last 10 league games?
I know this one, and just to piss Noah off, I'm going to take the option.
I don't know what it is. I don't follow Southampton.
I don't either.
So
It's an absolute punt.
okay, so 17, 18, 19, or 20 points from their last 10 games.
Let me just get some quick paper up. It's 3 for a win, 2, 1 for a draw, and nearly a few shit. So what's that? I reckon there were 5 wins. 6 wins would be 18. What was it? 16, 17, 18, 19.
No, 17, 18, 19, or 20.
17, 18, 19, or 20. No, I reckon they won 5. They drew like 3 or some shit, or 4. So they've had a few draws. I don't think they've won 6 in their last 10. I'm going to go, what's that? 3, 5, 18, and a draw. But then I don't know what they lost 1 in 10. That makes no sense. I'm going to go 18.
Unfortunately, it was 19.
19. I'm
Yeah.
because I'm like, I'll put.
I'd say
18.
something. I knew it was one of the options as well. I knew it'd be one of those.
18 or 19. I've done the maths. I'm like, look, they've either won 5 or 6. I'm like, they probably won. So they won 5, or
They won 5, drew 4,
drew
lost
4.
1.
That's right.
Yeah.
Okay. So my maths was right. I'm just like fucking pussy down.
All right. So Noah, you're up.
I can't hear Troy.
Yeah, Troy, we can't hear you.
That's a good thing.
Nope.
Oh, you're back.
No,
You're
he's
back.
good now. He's good now.
You're back.
1
Yeah.
5, drew 4, and got absolutely pumped.
That was before our game.
Yeah, that was before our game.
Right.
They lost the Wolves, is the one match
Yeah.
they lost. All right, Noah.
I'll go Burkina Faso 15.
Oh yeah, shit. We had 15 questions. I was being a smart ass before when I said 15. Idiot.
Okay, Noah.
Mm-hmm.
In 1895, Aston Villa won the FA Cup,
Yeah.
but the trophy was stolen and was a 63-year mystery.
Oh yes, I did hear this. Yes, I did. Yeah.
Where was it stolen from?
Oh, it's like honestly, I'm gonna have a punt, but I swear it was like a corner shop or something. Some guy was looking after it, and a group of guys came in and stole. And they actually melted it down. That's why they can't find
it. That sounds like a not exact answer, Scott.
They all I know is they melted the trophy, and they could never recover this trophy because they actually melted it.
But that's not the
okay.
answer.
So your answer is?
I think. Give me the
Isn't it-
options. Give me
Isn't
the
it
options.
Big Ali's kebab shop, isn't it?
You want to take the options?
Yeah, I'm gonna kick
Okay.
myself. It's
The options are the team bus,
no,
the change room,
I don't think so.
a Birmingham High Street shop window,
That's the one.
or Villa Park trophy cabinet.
Birmingham High, yeah, the Birmingham High Street one.
And it's correct for 1 point. You could have got the 3 if you had gone for it.
Would you have given me that though?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I would have given you the 3.
I remember
of the shop.
they told you that on the tour. And they actually they
Mm.
melted down the trophy, and that's why it could never be recovered because it was made out of like silver, like a lot of money back then. So
Okay. So, no, but it's a good, you know, I thought you were going to get 3 points there. Well done.
You get to keep your pants on, mate. Well done.
Yeah, you've leveled with Tommy, so I know that'll be a silver lining. You're both on 4 points
bit of a
now.
high ho silver lining. if you ask me.
Troy's on 5, and he's got a question to finish out this round. What do you want, Troy? What number?
What have we got? 2? Whatever the lowest number is, please.
The lowest
3.
one is 3.
Oh, let's go with 3.
Okay, 3. I'm just scrolling up. Okay. Aston Villa recently announced an upgrade to Villa Park with an expansion to 50,000 seats. Which stand is going to have to be demolished
Stand.
and rebuilt to complete the renovation?
North Stand.
is correct. 3 points. The North Stand will be knocked down and redone.
It's an ugly shitbox.
It
Anyway.
is real ugly, really ugly.
So Troy.
Like the rest of the stadium looks like really nice, and the North Stand's just a shithole.
I thought I might get you on that one because last week you were like, you won't put the same answer twice. So I put the same answer in twice, but you've seen around it. You know too much.
What's Troy on 7, 8?
So he goes on 8 now. So that's the end of that round.
Can I go number 7?
We've got 2 rounds to go. And
if Troy gets 3 points, he's won. 3 more points, he's won.
Well, no, they're stealing.
It's a big if.
Tommy's just going to take the options. He hates me, so.
Oh.
What's left, Scott? Is number 7 available?
Yes, we've got 5, 7, 8, 9, 12,
Let's do
13.
7.
7 for Tommy. Okay. In June 2019, we signed Jota from Birmingham City for an undisclosed fee. Which player went in the other direction on the same day?
Gary Gardner.
Is correct.
Yeah.
For 3 points.
Me and the Gardner boys, we go way back.
Not a good question. I like that one.
Thanks, guys.
Wow.
He's
Well, I
doubling
remember,
up on
and
answers.
everyone's
I believe
like,
the undisclosed fee turned out to be like 2 million or something.
yeah, it was 2 million. But everyone in Villa's like, oh, we got the better player. Well, did we? Because Jota was absolutely dross.
They were both shit. It's like bad for worse.
Yeah.
He's
Wow,
doubling up
well
on the
done,
answers.
Tommy.
Noah, the next answer is Dynamo Kiev.
Wow. Okay. So
No one
Tommy
expected that, did
has
they?
7.
I expected it.
Tommy's got some aces up the sleeve.
Noah, it's up to you. It's 8. We got 5, 8, 9, 12, 13.
9. Go 9.
These are great questions.
Go Wesley. Come on, Wes.
Okay. In 1938, Aston Villa accepted an invitation to tour Germany
Did they?
to play some games.
Against
Right.
who?
This was right when the Third Reich was starting to strike fear into mainland Europe. What did the Aston players do to cause controversy before the kickoff in Berlin versus a German select 11?
I thought you were going to ask him who the Third Reich was.
I'm gonna have a pun. I got no idea. They like salute or something. I got no
When
idea.
you say
Steel.
salute, do you mean like?
No, I'll take the
Shut up,
options.
Tommy.
I'll take the options.
Oh, come on, man.
Do you mean the Cornell or?
So you're taking the options?
Yeah.
Okay. The options are
See, Troy knows this. He was in the front row of the game. Like
Thanks,
seriously.
Noah. I appreciate it.
okay. The options are they wouldn't shake Adolf Hitler's hand. They refused to do the Nazi salute. Instead of the Nazi salute, they did a 2-finger salute. Or they paraded the Austrian and Czechoslovakian flag as a protest towards Germany's expansion.
I'm gonna go. They didn't shake Hitler's hand.
Ah, sucker.
I reckon
That is wrong.
They refused to do the salute. I reckon
They refused to do the Nazi
that's
salute.
common sense,
Oh,
Noah.
yeah, fuck yeah. It
And
is really common.
that-
sense.
Because you think about it, that's why it's banned in the football.
course,
You get a
of
card
course.
for it.
And it's quite funny because they played a game in Stuttgart 2 days later and they actually did the 2-finger salute because the FA told them that this time they should do the Nazi salute to keep Hitler happy. And instead of that, they did 2 fingers and all the German crowd thought they were just doing the salute. They didn't realize what the 2 fingers meant. And
As
they
in,
were all
like,
being told to
they
F
went like
you.
that.
And they warmly applauded the Villa players.
I did not
Well,
know
the
that
Villa's
one.
done the FU salute. The two, I thought you meant like that.
No, they did like the up yours. And
what, was Hitler pissed?
well, no, because they didn't get the cultural reference back then. They thought they were doing their best to do the Nazi salute, or
So this is what caused the war. It's Villa.
exactly. Like, well, we're the only ones that stood up. We stood up to Nazis before it was cool. You know,
Yeah.
so
That's
yeah,
actually sick.
it is pretty cool. So there you go. And Troy,
Let's go, Paul.
to finish off the penultimate round.
Win the quiz.
5, 8, 12, 13.
Unlucky for me, 13, please.
13.
Give me a history one.
Okay. Villa Park is the only ground in the world to do what in 3 different centuries?
Ooh, I think I know this. You won't get round to me, but I think I know it too.
I would say host a World Cup match. Yeah.
Is that your answer? Well,
Yeah.
unfortunately, that's not correct. So it goes to Tommy.
I have a pun, Tommy.
Sure, give me the options.
He's taking the options.
Oh, the World Cup wasn't around that long, was it?
Yeah. The options are voted best pitch on the league, host an international match, host a cup semi-final, or have the highest attendance for a second division match.
What was the first one? Vote something best match?
He voted best pitch
Best
in the
pitch.
league. Host an international match.
well, no, I think I'm just spitting here because I know our groundsman won like best groundsman.
It has been,
last decade. Yeah, so I do think it's the. I feel like Noah might know this though. The way he's trying to.
I can't steal anyway. You're taking the
Yeah,
options.
no, but it's the way you're egging me on. Like you don't egg me on.
Mate,
when you're happy.
So it's
I want you to be joy.
it's either been voted the best pitch in the league, it's hosted an international match, it's hosted a cup semi-final, or it's had the highest attendance in the second division.
I hate this because I know it as well. When I got 3
In the
points.
second division, what 3 consecutive
In all 3 centuries.
centuries? 100, yeah.
Yeah. So in the 1800s, the 1900s, and the 2000s.
So yeah, we were second div at some point in all of them.
Well, that's
In
what
each
you've got to
century,
figure
right.
out. That's what you've got to figure out. Maybe not.
It's either that one or the best pitch. I think is it the but then my international, is it host an international match?
Just
It
listen to
is for 1 point.
Yes.
I
Thank
should get at
you. I
least
just
half.
realised-
I was
I-
very
When he
close.
said
You were
centuries,
very close. I felt bad, Troy, but it
Sorry.
wasn't a World Cup match. It was an international match.
Yeah.
Sorry, no.
Couldn't
I was
give you the
thinking-
points.
I was thinking.
You're
overthinking it, bro.
I thought decades,
Okay.
not centuries. And I'm like, wait a second. We've definitely hosted one like in the 2000s. I'm sure we've done it back in the days when we
And
won
we
the
were meant to
leagues.
host one before the Euros as well.
And I'm like, we were one of the first teams to found the EPL, and I'm guessing we had a great pitch back then. Hey, it's a
Possibly.
tie. Let's go. For this.
It is a
Oh.
tie. Going into the last round, we have Tommy on 8,
Wait,
Nora on
did
4,
did
Troy
no one
on
not answer?
8.
Has no one not answered, or am I the last one?
No, everyone's answered.
Yes.
We've got one round to go.
You stole it.
Yeah, we've got 1 round to go. Tommy, 5, 8, or 12.
5, 8, or 12. I've been keeping even numbers, so I'm going to go with 8, please.
Why not 12?
Fucking easy.
You remember what numbers you picked?
Yeah, it was. Wait. It was.
No, that doesn't matter.
Troy.
Okay.
Into the second hour of the show. Let's move on.
4, 6, 7, 8. I think I won.
So you're going 8?
Yeah, 8, please.
Okay.
Don't be history.
In 1890, Aston Villa
No.
Look,
Troy was
you
there
might-
as well.
you might still be all right. Okay.
1890 when your
Okay.
hat was made.
All right, Tommy, you got to pay attention to this one. Pay attention. In 1890, Aston Villa were the champions of England in another sport from football. The club had an affiliation with this team in this sport. Which sport was it?
It's a sport that Noah loves. I know that much. Is it cricket?
You've been sucked into that one, I think.
Cricket is incorrect.
You fucking cunt.
There goes the explicit warning on YouTube.
No. I thought it was
Yeah.
cricket.
I'll have to, that was I'll have to tick. This is not for kids. But unfortunately, Tommy, it's not cricket, so it goes to Noah,
Take the options, Noah,
who can
now.
steal.
I'm going to take the options.
Oh, okay. He's taking the option.
No,
The options are
so wait. You genuinely didn't know what the answer was. You were cheering for cricket. I thought you
it
were
was
winding him up.
cricket.
And I'm like, I know Noah follows cricket and they don't play basketball.
I
which
thought
know
it was
you play.
cricket because that's what
I
they did
was so confident.
to keep warm in the winter, keep fit in the winter. Honestly, what I thought it was.
okay. The options are field hockey, baseball,
No,
basketball,
No.
lacrosse.
it's lacrosse or field hockey.
Yeah.
It's lacrosse or field hockey.
I would have gone with rugby.
I don't even think lacrosse had been
Yeah,
around
to be
that
fair,
long.
rugby's on a bad show as well, but not one of the options, Troy, is it? It's lacrosse or field hockey.
It's a trick question. It's
I'm gonna
definitely
go-
rugby.
I'm
Go with
gonna
rugby, Noah.
go lacrosse.
It's actually baseball.
Fuck off.
In 1890,
What?
in 1890, National League of Baseball of Great Britain was the first and today only professional baseball championship. So we are still the national baseball champions because there hasn't been a proper league since.
What?
The National League's headquarters was located in London. Aston Villa were the National League champions despite Derby Baseball Club leading the league for much of the season following their contentious dismissal from the championship mid-season. Aston Villa were officially known as Birmingham Baseball Club Limited with their
BBC.
uniforms emblazoned with Birmingham AV on the jersey, despite being officially part of the famous Aston Villa Football Club. So
Holy shit. We're baseball
so
champions.
we were the baseball Great Britain
we're
champions.
we're the world baseball champions if you think international.
That's cooked. That is cooked. Anyway,
There you go.
I'm going to move on quickly and go question 12. I can't believe that. I'm mind blown.
Okay, so number 12.
Baseball.
Just
That was my
laughing
ne-
at the baseball option.
That
There was
my
no
next.
way.
That was my next option, Noah. So we'll see what the question was. Fuck.
All right, Noah.
I don't know.
Philip Coutinho lit up Villa Park on Saturday with one of the best performances we've seen in a long while.
Correct.
According to infogol.com, what was his match rating out of 10?
He's a
The
stat
nearest 0.25. So he got a score, which is
Yeah,
like
I think it
two
was.
decimal places. If you give me the closest 0.25, I'll give it to you.
I think it was like 8.48.
So you're going to say, well, give me something that goes to 0.25,
8.5. No, in other words,
Yeah.
just round it up.
I'm pretty sure it was 8.48. I'll go 8.5.
Okay, that's incorrect.
Well, there you go.
And
I was
there's an
saying a stat.
opportunity for Troy to steal.
I saw it.
Oh, can I have the options?
Ah,
You can have the options.
Oh, look, doesn't matter. I'll go. Yeah, okay, give me the options.
Okay, the options are 9,
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna go
9.25, 9.5, or 9.75
Oh, 9.25.
is correct for 1 point. He got 9.33 was his official rating.
Dad dance. The dad dance.
So Troy has a point and takes the lead with only one question to go, which is his question.
I remember seeing something on Twitter how like all their midfielders randomly. It might have been at halftime. They were all like 8 points, like in the eights. Him, Coutinho,
No one's listening to
Douglas
you 'cause I'm
Louise.
dancing.
My guess would have been around 9, and I would have guessed 9.1. Because I had a feeling it'd be like to get 9.5 is ridiculous.
He got 9.33 was the official rating he got.
Yeah.
Okay.
So if I,
So-
yeah, don't worry.
So Troy, here's your question.
Yes.
Aston Villa were the first club to do what with their shirt sponsor?
Acorns, the first club to actually pay somebody else to have their shirt rather than being paid to have the sponsor on the shirt.
And that is correct for 3 points.
Wow.
He went for the 3 points when he could have just taken the options and won. So, but he got it right. He's got the 3.
There were too many history questions where Troy was actually at the game. Like,
I'm
as
more
much as
proud-
Troy doesn't want to admit it, he played in that baseball tournament.
I'm more
And
proud with my performance.
Coach.
12 points for Troy.
Was I
8 points for Tommy. 4 points for Noah. Well
No,
done,
I get a couple of
Troy.
weeks ago.
16, mate. Unlucky.
16. Yeah.
Okay.
You're
Not
still,
touching that.
still
Okay.
a long way off that.
No one's touching that.
But what a huge effort. Troy takes the lead. 4 points to Troy, 3 to Noah, 1 to Tommy. Tommy, unlucky. You nearly got a point there.
I can't believe they played baseball.
I know.
No.
They-
I was so confident with cricket. I'm like, this sounds about right.
Because I know that's why they played soccer, is to keep fit for cricket season.
well, that was
No.
true. But we started a baseball league a few years later.
It would have been cricket for me, then rugby, then lacrosse. Baseball would just never
So
been like
technically,
this. for me.
cricket is an answer because we have an Aston Villa cricket team.
Yeah.
Well, there you
Read those
go.
questions.
All right. Well, we'll wrap up there because we've been going a while. And thanks again, everyone, for your support, your likes, your comments, your subscriptions. I said a few weeks ago, let's get us to 150 before the end of the season. We're nearly there.
144, crazy.
144. So, let's get to 200. Come on. Let's get behind the channel. We're on TikTok now. Noah's doing that. So you can check out our little videos on there.
Instagram as well.
Spotify, you can listen to us. I know a lot of people like to listen back to the quiz on the Spotify. So please get on there, give us a follow, and let us know, what do you think the team is doing better now than a few weeks ago? What exactly is it tactically? Who's shining? Who's been impressing you? And what do you think will be the scoreline for the Leeds match coming up on Thursday evening, Friday morning our time? So we will see you after that. There'll be another podcast coming up soon. So
we need to get a subscriber on as a guest, somebody who's particularly sweary.
Yeah, definitely. We'll look. There'll be plenty of podcasts coming up because we got Leeds, we got West Ham after that. So look out for those. Click the bell; they'll give you a notification of when the videos drop. Up the Villa, and we will see you all after the Leeds match. See you later.
For me.
Catches.
Sure.